Thank you so much for your words. I just want to take a second to acknowledge some people that are here today, some leaders that are here. And in the spirit of the declaration that was signed by this city, I would like to acknowledge Lyndon Duncan, as well as Deron Bilous. These are two leaders that I have seen at many events, including, I don't know, was it minus 1,000 one time? I just arrived from LA and I was new to the city. Louis Cardinal and I were going to be emceeing this event, and it was cold. I don't know, it was very, I don't know, it was minus what? And you guys were there, and I have seen you show your face no matter what temperature and just be there with your heart and spirit. And I just want to say thank you so much, because we really need your support. We're here at a very important event, and some of the events that I've seen you at are so incredibly important. And in coming here, I've been in LA for 23 years, and we really are in La La Land when we're over there. Like I wasn't aware of everything that was going on here until I came here. And now Joe was saying, wow, you're everywhere. And it's like, I am everywhere because I had no idea of the work that needs to be done here. And with leaders like this and leaders that we have in here, Taz, our chiefs and our medicine healers, and everybody that's in this room, we all need to band together to work and continue this kind of work. And awesome. Here's one of the ladies that's running for mayor, and I was at the breakfast the other morning to listen to her platform as well. But thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
First, I want to thank our elder for Elder Kembo for his opening prayer. I want to acknowledge Chief Porteray, other chiefs, my cousin, federal MP Linda Duncan, the People's Poets, and all of our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, thank you to the organizers for once again putting on this day. I think today is extremely important to draw awareness to this. Part of me wants to say issue, but it's not. I want to make it clear that the sisters, the mothers, the daughters, the grandmothers that have been stolen from us, first and foremost, have been stolen, and I think it's important that that's the word that we use because of the weight that it bears. But I also want to say that this is not a women's issue. This is not an Aboriginal issue. This is an issue that affects all of us. And as Alex said, this is first and foremost a human rights issue. As Georgina said, my name is Deron Bilous. I'm the MLA for Edmonton-Beverly-Clareview. And I'm honored to be with you again today, to speak with you. And I want to acknowledge the fact that we are standing on Treaty 6 traditional territory. This year's theme is on youth, and I'm very happy to see the focus on youth and young people. And I know that there are quite a few folks that are here from iHuman Youth Society, and there are also, I do want to acknowledge that there are some of my past students. I used to teach at inner city high school for a number of years, and I know that some of my students' work is actually on display here, and some of my colleagues, including a very good friend of mine who's a social studies teacher at inner city, Dan Scratch, is here, and so I want to acknowledge it and thank you for coming. Again, this issue of lost sisters and daughters and grandmothers affects all of us, and if we do not know someone directly, then I know that we all know someone who has lost a sister, a daughter, a brother, a son, a cousin. As Alex was saying, this is simply unacceptable. I really liked the point that the People's Poets made when we look about how many people went missing in Chile under a military dictatorship. And then we turn and we look at Canada, and we look at the fact that we are a democratically elected and run country, and yet we still have missing women and missing people every day is completely shameful. want to echo the words of Alex that we need to force this federal government and Stephen Harper to take a national inquiry into the missing and murdered Indigenous women, and that we need to continue to pressure our federal government until they do it. It's not an option. We're not asking, we're demanding, and we're saying, no, this is important, and you are going to do this, and we are not going to let you hide behind your words and empty promises and broken promises any longer. I want to also say that as a provincial MLA, I believe that the province has a role to play, and it is not good enough that this province, this premier, has a history of passing the buck and saying, no, that's a federal issue. We don't deal with that. Well, I'm sorry, that is a lame excuse. I look at other provinces that take action, that look at the individual and look at protecting the individual. They will sort out later on when it comes to funding and whether it's a federal or provincial. The point is, action is taken to protect our people. And they don't hide behind whose jurisdiction it is. The point is that we are taking action, and we are going to work toward preventing this, so that next year when we come to honor and remember those that were taken from us, we can say there were no more taken from us this year. I want to read a couple shameful statistics that I know many of you are aware of, but it boils my blood that Alberta has the second highest number of missing and murdered Aboriginal women in Canada, second only to BC. 84% of the cases in Alberta are murder cases where we lose them. Again, this PC Alberta government has been too silent for too long. And as other speakers have said, we look to our politicians to provide leadership, to show leadership, to take action. And I can tell you that each and every one of you today can take action in pressuring and demanding that your elected officials do take action, that break the silence. I want to end by saying this is something that we can work together. This is something that is preventable. This is something that clearly is a priority for us. And I agree with previous speakers that I would love to see thousands upon thousands of people in this room. And we won't have success until we get there, and the number of missing and murdered women is zero. But I do want to say on a positive note that each and every year that I've been coming here, our numbers are growing. And I think that is positive, that it starts with making the public aware and drawing attention to this issue, and that it will not go away and we will not be silent. And so for all of you coming today, I want to say thank you very much. I do appreciate it, and please keep up the great work. We will not forget. We will continue to honor and keep their voices, keeping us motivated and moving forward and keeping strong. Thank you very much. Hi.
I listen to some of the stories from the families, and I have to say that every time I hear those stories, my heart breaks, and I know each and every one of your hearts break as well. Part of your heart gets lost. And what we need to do is to keep together, is to make sure that we all stand strong, to help, to support those who have had lost sisters, wives, grandmothers, aunts, the list goes on, and even some brothers as well. What we need to do is ensure that we don't forget, and that we continue to fight for justice for all of those who have been lost.